Don't say anything dumb. All right. So exploring psychology. Let's start off there. Who'd like to read that for me? Who'd like to read that for me? Maddie?
No, I hate to
You got it. Go ahead.
read. No, I don't want to read. I hate it.
Please, for the love of God.
No, it was bad.
Do you want me to read them? Everyone look at Madden.
No, I literally
Stare at
hate
her.
reading it.
Maybe point a finger.
Don't make her
Maybe two fingers. No, just kidding. Leah, go ahead. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. We had a few of those already. So go ahead, Leah.
It's 4 a.m. and Steve is engulfed in the green glare of his computer screen. 1 minute pretending he's a ruthless mafia lord, masterminding a gambling empire. The next minute imagining he's an evil sorcerer or an alien life form. Steve, a college student, is playing a multiple user dungeon game, a fictional game modeled after Dungeons and Dragons that is played by sending online messages to other players. But as he continually logs on for hours, Steve finds himself sleeping through classes, forgetting his homework, and slipping into internet addiction.
Oh my gosh, Steve. What a loser. I'm just joking. Yeah, Steve should wear these glasses, these blue light glasses. They'll protect his eyes. They'll help him out, right? Especially engaging in this online activity and video games. Unbelievable. Oh, Roy, do you like these video games?
No.
No?
What did you put?
World of
Oh,
Warcraft?
I said he's copying.
His glasses.
I am. Roy and I are intellectuals.
Practically friends.
We are, yeah, pals. You should see it. You should see it come Christmas time. Oh, we had a doozy this past Christmas, decorate the tree.
They won't-
Uh,
They don't get
Yeah, they don't all get it.
Oh, okay. Well, do you do anything fun and exciting for Easter?
No,
Darn it.
they're great eggs.
Easter eggs on the tree.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Steve, what's going on here with Steve? What's going on? Maddie, can you answer the question or am I pointing you out here in front of everybody?
I don't know who you're talking to.
Madden. Tegan, should I say? He's online. He's playing video games, staying up all night. In all reality, what should he do?
Sleep.
He should sleep. Okay, yeah, sleep's obviously very beneficial. We'll talk about the stages of sleep in chapter 5. And that's going to be towards the end of the semester and how that is essential for our health. But Steve also should be doing what, maybe? Homework. Yeah, he should be trying to apply himself a little bit more with school.
Pardon. You guys have internet right now?
No.
They don't have it all the way down. I'm gonna make a phone call and see what I can do. I
Okay.
can't fix it myself, but I can call people.
When did this happen? I just submitted Sapphire attendance. It worked for me.
It's not
Well, the
hard.
teachers are on, but the students can't get on.
Oh.
That's what I'm finding.
Are you hardwired?
No.
And I'm just
I don't get
finding
it.
out this right now, so I'm gonna call Mr. Bell and see if he has any ideas. Maybe we'll call the IU and see if it's a ubiquitous problem with the building or the district.
Okay.
I know more, I'll let you know.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks.
All right. So Steve, yep, he's having an issue because he finds his priorities stated in more of a video game atmosphere, this online world. I wish it was World of Warcraft. Just joking. Just joking. Anyway, so if we were making observations, let's say we're in Steve's class, what observations might we pick up on with Steve in class? I know it really doesn't detail too much about him in the classroom, but let's just say he was sitting in the class. He just avoids reading at all possible. He just says, you know what? Don't pick on me to
I
read.
would have messed up that word mafia. Because I don't ever see that word.
Mafia.
Like it would have freaked me out. Yeah, I can't read. I can't read. I'm smart, but I can't read. Yeah, I hate it.
All right, Leah, go ahead. So what do you pick up? What are some behaviors?
Well, first of all,
Might
it says
Steve
he misses
display?
class. I wouldn't see him anyways. But
Huh?
I said, first of all, it says he misses class. I wouldn't see him.
Yeah, it's true. All right, but let's say he's there.
Yeah, I would probably just think he was a bum.
Maybe he
So-
smells.
He's a bum.
Smells like pizza.
Holy cow, that's a harsh word to use.
I mean, hey, he's
Madison
Oh, you might be falling asleep in class.
might be falling asleep in class. Good job. Lindsay?
Bags of their adults.
Oh, yeah, baggy eyes. Yeah. He might, yeah. Will you quit using that word?
Obviously Spider-Man.
He is Spider-Man,
He's
you're
not doing
right.
homework. He's sleeping through class. He's obviously
He
Spider-Man.
must be staying up all night doing some heroic things.
Oh,
Good point.
I got yelled at by
MJ, right? Yeah, that's how she picked up on Spider-Man. Yeah. All right, good. So we're going to be talking about a naturalistic observation today. and you're going to define that. So if you need to, you can use your iPad for that bell ringer and then come up with some examples. But towards the end of class, I'll have an assignment for you, which is an observation assignment. Don't worry, you don't have to do it in here in class. You can do it at home if you like. You can maybe make an observation of a family member, brother, sister, parents, guardians, whatever, or your pets. Every time I make an observation on my pets, I'm like, what is going on in his mind? Especially when he takes a dump on my carpet in the morning, right before when I'm ready to leave for school. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Benny. Leah, what's up?
How am I supposed to use my iPad to help read the bell ringer in the book if I can't get on the internet?
That is a great question.
Can you write in your notes app?
Yeah, but I can't search anything for help.
And now we have to do it
Do you
at
have a
home.
phone?
That's home.
You said to.
You got 2 phones.
All of our classwork is now homework.
All right. Anyway, so that was just to kind of get you going here with Steve and his problems, his issues, and we'll reflect back to Steve when we go over the 4 goals of psychology. Okay, we'll maybe mention it today. I don't know if we'll have enough time. You know how I get up here and ramble. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe not. All right, here's your bell ringer. So those of you that haven't had me yet, you're just going to write the question down. You can do it on Google Doc, your notes app. I guess not a Google Doc since the internet's down.
You can type on a Google Doc without internet, it just doesn't save. Like,
Oh,
it saves, but it won't back up until you grab one.
remember that issue we had first marking period, or not the first marking, first semester? I just hotspot. Maybe you can hotspot off your phone. No?
I don't need it to back up right now. It'll still be there. I don't need it.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So what is a naturalistic observation? You can probably figure this out on your own. But what are some pros and cons of a naturalistic observation? Roy. Huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
You got it?
PSY.
Is there a change?
CH.
Big
Yeah.
change.
Oh, no.
Is there?
Nah, you
I
look
spelled that on my
You still kind of have a gut.
Me? Wow. Chris, you're getting an F now.
All good.
So we said we're gonna pray for the wrestlers at the beginning of basketball practice. for the good practice.
Huh?
We said that we were praying for the wrestlers.
Oh,
for the practices.
well, they got the business. Some of them, I actually wrestled live a little bit.
The rest of life for 50 minutes straight.
Good. Maybe 51 minutes. Right. All right, so just a fair warning. I'm gonna have to publish the chapter 1 and it's gonna publish everything. So you're gonna get a million emails here soon enough, but just forget about them. They're gonna be unpublished, a lot of the stuff anyway. So don't even think about looking at the exam that might be published. Okay. So I just want to let you know, because when I post the lesson and the assignment for today, it's all gonna filter through. So I apologize. I apologize. All right, I'll give you a couple more minutes. How about another minute? Fill this out. Mr. Miller had me worried there when he came stumbling in. I was like, oh boy, what did I do? What's that?
We all would have immediately assumed it was his fault. If he hadn't told us.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
I cut the wire by accident. What?
He's asking
How?
where Ryan is.
Chris, enough.
They're up in the office.
No more talking about this.
Mr. Rock said that you played it.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
That you went down the office, not
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yep. Yep. That's my famous joke to students when they leave and come back. Hey, the office one yet? Oh, for what? I don't know. Go down and check. Go down. Oh. No, he got me with it. And you guys played along with it. You're like,
I have no idea.
I just, I'm not. He threatened the family.
I
Yes, he did.
not very nice.
It was funny.
No, it's not.
That was very funny.
There I am, counting the days at home. Well,
There I
maybe it'll
was,
work out well. I don't know.
thinking of doing something.
See you later. Brian, you See the Suicide Squad movie? Everyone?
I think DC movies are boring.
Well, that's not bad, the new one. But anyway, the Peacemaker show's coming out today with John Cena.
That's good.
You think so? Why? Because he has a gut like me?
Johnson has a gun.
No,
Childhood over.
can't see me. All right, what do we got? Naturalistic observation. What is it? What is it? What is a naturalistic observation? What do you have? Madison, go ahead.
An observation that you're just looking at something that like someone introduced you in the natural environment without any outside.
All right, good job. So where might you perform a naturalistic observation? Huh? Oh, window. Yeah, looking out the window. All right, okay. So you're creeping on people, huh? I guess so, somewhat. Or somewhat.
Window shopping.
Okay, yeah. So you go to the mall, you go people watching. I like doing that. I like doing that. So naturalistic observation is making an observation off of someone in their natural setting, right? When they are really just performing whatever they do in their life, okay, without really knowing that someone's watching them. Why is it important that maybe we make these observations when they don't know we are making these observations, when they don't know when we are actually watching them? Leah?
People are their true selves when they don't know who are watching.
Yeah, good job. So they might have little quirks that they do, or maybe they might act a different way if they knew they were being observed. All right, good, good. So what might be a naturalistic observation? You might be viewing someone maybe in the park, walking around. I don't know, maybe they'd be on their phones nowadays as they're walking through, stumbling over things. Who knows? Chris? Scouting? What do you mean?
It's like, I don't know, one, like a favorite player, so you go on the cover, favorite one, JD.
Who? No.
Like go undercover, watch like players.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're scouting the opponent.
Yeah.
All right,
They don't know
okay.
that you're scouting, so they count it.
You're disguising yourself. You're putting on a hat and glasses and everything. Okay. All right, kind of. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So you're saying you're making observations based off their play in the game, these certain players. All right, good, good. All right. So again, naturalistic observation is just you're making observations based off someone and how they act without knowing they're being observed. And the reason for it is because you don't want any bias. You want any issues when you're trying to make those observations that might be different, right? If they know that they're being watched, they're going to act totally different. So what are some pros and cons of a naturalistic observation? What do we think? What are some pros? Let's start there. Madden?
Like characters.
Yeah, you can tell what their true tendencies are. Okay, maybe their character. All right, good, good. What do you got, Leah?
I said that you're getting the wall facts or something.
Okay, yeah, good job getting raw facts if something's happened. What about some cons? What are some disadvantages here? Go ahead.
You won't be aware of like other outside influences.
All right, yeah, good, good. So maybe you need to pick up on some of these outside influences when people are walking around the park. Maybe they're kind of in a situation, or maybe under some certain circumstances that are causing them to act a certain way. All right, good. What else? What else, Tanner? Time consuming. Yes, very good, very good. So this could take quite a bit of time to gather all the data you need, depending on what your study is about. So what are these observations when they're occurring? It might take quite a bit of time. Good, good. What else? What about ethics? What is ethics? What does that mean? Okay. Do you think it's right to just watch people and make observations of their actions?
Ethics
Do
are
they?
overrated.
Ethics are
It's
overrated. Who
not
cares
even
about them?
like, it's not even like I'm like watching people on purpose. I just get bored and I just stare off into space. If you're in my viewpoint, then that's your fault.
All right. Okay. All right. Lindsay, do you have your hand up? I thought you did. Are you stretching or something?
No.
All right. My bad. Maybe I'm seeing something. All right. Good. Good. So also ethics do play a role in it because you need to obviously let them know, hey, I made some observations of you in your natural setting here, walking around the park. And I want to let you know that I'm probably going to use these observations in a study, okay? Or let's say research. And if they allow you to use your, let you use their name, good, great. but you need to make sure that you have that consent from that person. If not, well, you could find yourself into some terrible situations and it might look real creepy. All right, naturalistic observation. Good, good, good. Here are your terms for today. So if you want to make a separate notes, okay, or a Google Doc, well, let's say chapter 1 vocab, that'd be great. And then we'll just kind of work through this as the year goes on, as we progress through the chapter. I'll just put up a few that we might get to today, hopefully, and that we're going to discuss and talk about. Chapter 1, history and approaches to psychology. You can see that in modules. Actually, I didn't publish it yet, so you can't. Or on the homepage. You can see it on the homepage. What's that?
History and what?
History and approaches to psychology.
We already talked about naturalistic.
Yep, you're right. Do you need more time?
Yes.
Okay. Another minute. How about another minute? All right, psychology, what is it? What is it? Chris, what do you have?
Science of the mind and behavior.
Okay, good job. Good job. So, behavior. Okay, we're going to talk about different principles and approaches to psychology in this chapter. And there's many perspectives. There's the biological perspective of psych, the evolutionary perspective, behaviorist approach, psychodynamic. And we'll mention a lot of these perspectives and these viewpoints in psych where we can maybe answer some of these characteristics or behaviors of people. And it's just not one answer. There's many different approaches you can place on, let's say, an observation or a behavior that obviously you pick up on. All right, good. What about, let's go to nature versus nurture. Leah, since we talked about this last semester, what do you have for nature versus nurture? Yeah, good job. So is this heredity? Is this something we inherit, our characteristics, our personality of who we really are? Or is this something based off experience? And many people argue on certain behalfs. And I think you can almost explain that this is a combination of both, of heredity, obviously, and inherited traits, and also what experience we, obviously, what we pick up on. Our personality can be explained through experience, through cognition, through learning. All right, and we'll go over the 4 goals of psych today. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, so the introduction and history of psych. We will talk about certain methods that were used in the past before all this technology and information we have today, research. And some of them are kind of funny, like phrenology, and how people were kind of just feeling the top of people's skulls, top of people's head, and try to realize what type of behaviors they have or what type of issues they might have, characteristics, which we look at that and laugh about it. It's like, how can someone actually give a response or an explanation of someone's characteristics or personalities or disorders they might have by just feeling the top of their head? It's so weird, but we'll talk about it. All right, so what is psychology? It's a scientific study of behavior and mental processes. So behavior is an action of an organism that can be observed. And we mentioned about naturalistic observations and why it's important, okay, for psychology. And it's not always based off of observation. Okay, yes, that helps, especially when we're trying to apply research and maybe have an answer to some of these behaviors, or maybe a disability, or maybe it is a mental function, whatever it might be. So we'll talk about the behaviorist approach to psychology and how people react to certain stimulus and how we can maybe come up with principles and explanation to it. All right, mental processes, internal subjective experiences we infer from behavior. All right, so again, through cognition, through experience, this is maybe how we are trying to, build our characteristics, build our personality, build who we are off of what we experience, what we learn, what we understand, and thanks to many of the institutions like education, entertainment, right, we can apply this to who we are. All right, and psychologist roots in Greek, psyche, mind, and ology, the field of study. So we're studying the mind. Okay, we'll talk about it in chapter 3 with understanding the brain, its functions, okay, and different parts and lobes of the brain, which we'll get into a little bit more detail. How we understand it, how we can visualize, how we can scan it. And before that, well, how these people kind of felt the top of people's heads. And I try to depict characteristics and behaviors, which is a little ridiculous. All right, psychology's big issue. You guys know it, nature versus nurture. All right, so are these characteristics, these personalities, these behaviors we have, is this inherited by our parents? All right, are these behaviors and patterns that we picked up through heredity, or is this something that we learn, that we experience over time, and that we can apply it to ourselves to build the person we are? And many psychologists try to explain this by both the combination of nature versus and nurture. Okay, it's not just one, but many psychologists try to have more an emphasis, let's say, on nurture, okay, on experiences we have, thanks to the institutions we have throughout our country, our society, our culture. Or it might be like I said, picked up through heredity, through inherited traits. And there's a lot of conversation to that. Obviously, we pick up on many of the tendencies, the patterns, behaviors that our parents have, or maybe an older brother or sister, okay, or someone that's influential in our life. Maybe we're just born with it, right? Right, Chris? Like shooting a basketball for you. Maybe you're just born with that talent, that skill.
That's Brock.
That is Brock. Yeah, that is Brock, the student of the month.
That's very
Yep.
odd.
Man, the money man, Brock.
They're all for final ball.
What's that?
I need it all for final ball.
Oh, okay. Brock's always on. He's got the hot hand, huh? I believe it. That's why he's a student of the month. All right, last thing I want to talk about, the 4 main goals of Psych. We got it. We got to it. I didn't ramble on too much. Good. So 4 main goals of psychology. Make sure you guys know this. Okay, you guys can refer to the book too and read a little bit more information about this. But it starts off with description. So we're gathering information through observable events. So we're making observation off of someone or something. Okay. And as we're picking up these observable events, we're trying to figure out exactly why these people perform these traits or these actions or these processes. What makes them act the way they do? And that kind of goes into explanation, where we'll form a hypothesis to try to depict why this person does the things they do. And eventually we'll form a theory and an understanding of maybe why these people react and obviously make these types of actions. So let's say for Steve, oh man, poor Steve. There he is. We're coming back to him. He's playing Dungeons and Dragons all night. And he comes to class, his grades are being impacted by it. He doesn't have the social interactions with his friends or his peers like he should. Okay. And we can obviously form an explanation to that. Well, because he stays up all night playing video games, he's not looking at his notes. He's not looking at his let's just say his research within the class or his understanding of the class, or he doesn't even come to class, right? So we can already depict and we can come up with an explanation of why he's doing so poorly in school. A lot of that has to do, obviously, with his gaming. But why does he indulge so much in the gaming? Is it something maybe with social cues? Maybe he's just not reaching out to his peers or his friends enough. Maybe he is, I don't know, socially awkward, right? What else? Leah, what do you think?
Well, when you do things like that, synapses in your brain.
Okay.
You want to do it more because it's like a reward system.
It is good. So releasing endorphins, that helps you just feel happy, right? Feel pleasure in that type of activity. Okay, good, good. Maybe he's going through some troubled times with family members or maybe with another friend. Okay, he's losing a friend. And maybe that's a way he copes with that problem. Indulging in these games, getting involved in these games. It's a way for him to seek a void in a way, to try to answer some of these problems that he's facing. Right? So that might apply to the hypothesis. That might apply to maybe the reasons why he's getting involved in these types of behaviors. All right, prediction. So a third goal, all right, prediction. So how are we going to try to predict these behaviors? What might happen to Steve if he keeps getting involved in, let's say, gaming all night? He doesn't go to class. He's not prepared for class. Right? What are some drawbacks that could happen? Leah, go ahead. He'll fail. Yep, he'll be booted out of school maybe. All right, causing him to pick up on a lot of, let's say, because college isn't cheap, right? Pick up on a lot of debt where he might have to find a part-time job. Now he's trying to balance his part-time job with his gaming. Maybe he's going to have problems with his parents because let's just say they wanted to push him to school or college. So that's going to cause more internal problems for him. Geez, this isn't getting better for Steve, is it? No. So that's a prediction we can have, right? Because he's not setting his priorities straight, this could cause more issues for Steve down the line. All right, influence. Last goal of Psych. How are we going to try to influence Steve's behavior? How are we going to try to help him, right? How are we going to try to apply what we researched and observed so far from Steve and help him out with the situation? Okay. How do you think you'd help him out? Leah, go ahead. Your hands up the whole time. I love it. All right, go ahead.
could just say, you do a certain amount of work, then you can pay for a certain amount of minutes and so on. Like give yourself rewards for doing certain things.
So like a positive reinforcement then, huh? All right, so a reward system. You're gonna say, listen, Steve, if you get this assignment done, your homework done, you'll get an hour to play Dungeons and Dragons. All right, I like that. Roy, what would you do to help Steve out? What would you try to influence his behavior in helpful ways?
Help study for school.
Okay, all right, yeah. So maybe come up with a study group, right, where he can see some sort of belonging, right, where he can belong to a group where he might have similar interests as those people and create friends. And maybe that will drag him away from the video games. That's a good example too. Good. Anybody else have anything? Madison, go ahead. Yeah, good job. Good job. So socialization, again, just forming these groups, forming these bonds with people that might have similar interests as him. And that might break him away from these bad tendencies of staying up all night and playing video games. All right, good, good. So remember those 4 goals. You'll have an assignment on Monday. We'll see. I don't know. With the snow coming, it might be virtual, just to let you know. I'll post that on Canvas so you'll see it on Monday. 4 goals of Psych. So you're just going to come up with a different, let's say, explanation of how you're going to apply these 4 goals to a certain situation. But your assignment for today, like I said, sorry, you're going to see a bunch of emails coming at you and alerts, announcements, because I'm going to publish this chapter. So everything's going to be coming at you, but I will unpublish them right away.
So you're like publish the whole thing and then unpublish.
I have to, yeah. I have to.
That's gonna be more work for you.
I know, I gotta go on her hand. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, sorry.
It's probably a good idea.
Oh,
Well, I'm not receiving notifications anyways, so I have Wi-Fi.
oh, that's true.
I don't have Wi-Fi.
You'll get it later.
Mine's still there.
Make sure I unpublish the test. Okay, I'm going and unpublishing all this stuff here, so you can't access it then. Maybe I do that at the start of the year. It's Canvas. I don't know. It's weird. So when I do that, when I hit publish up here, it got everything.
Like the subheadings. What if you just unpublished Origins of Psychology? What would happen?
So it'll only do the text header. That's it. Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate, isn't it? There you go. There you go. We're getting there now. We're getting there. Actually, that's where we need to be. Perfect. So here's your observation activity. Perfect timing too. Nice. Yeah, great. 5-minute observation to explain in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
I'll just observe the lunch.
You could. All right, so here you go. Observe someone for 5 minutes without letting them see you. Okay. Record all observable behaviors. Choose 3 of those behaviors and explain why you think the individual is doing those behaviors. B, choose one behavior that was observed and make a prediction of what might happen if the individual continues doing that behavior. Or C, how might you be able to get that person to alter or stop one of those behaviors? So this can be anybody, someone in the lunchroom, maybe it's at home if you want to observe, maybe a parent, I don't know, or a sibling, or I don't know, whatever you want to do. Usually I do it in class and it's pretty much the same thing for everybody because they're just sitting here doing nothing. Well, taking notes, hopefully, not on their phone. All right, there we go. That's what I want you guys to do. Have that ready to go for Monday, the observation activity.